Alright guys, Swisher Family Homestead here. We're trying to save money on a homestead just like everybody else. So, me and Amy have been discussing this. I should have did this a long time ago. This is my fault. But, you know, stubborn as I am, she didn't really have to talk me into it. I agreed with it, of course, as usual. Happy wife, happy life. So we have decided to try to save some money. As you know, most of you have power. Some of you homesteaders don't have power. We don't have power on the homestead. The power that we consume is power that we get from our generator. As you all know, you always hear that generator running in the background as it's doing right now. So what we've decided to do is we go to a laundromat about every 2 weeks, do our dirty clothes, and it ended up costing us a fortune. So to save some money on that and save some time to be on the homestead when you get other stuff done instead of being stuck in a laundromat full of people for 4 hours, don't want to do it. So we decided, well, I'll build a clothesline from scratch. So today's episode is going to be how to build a DIY on a clothesline for you guys to see. Now, I'm going to give you guys everything you're going to need. I'm going to show you everything you're going to need. And it's very simple to do. Even the most inexperienced person can put one of these together pretty simple. I went online and I looked, you know, and a couple of them are $100 and, you know, just not, it's not natural. I wanted something built out of wood. I wanted something that would eventually, when it became time, it would decay and it would go back into the system and we wouldn't have, you know, some piece of metal sitting on the homestead all rusted up looking nasty. With this, if you do it right, which is what I'm going to do, is you'll be able to have it. It'll last you probably about 15, 20 years if you do it right and take care of it. If not, you'll probably get about 5, 10 years out of it and then it'll go kaput. So at this point, I'm going to show you guys what you need, and I'm going to show you guys how to do it. Some of it has already been done. It's very simplified. It's very easy to do, and I'll go through the steps of exactly what I did to achieve the clothesline. So let's get to it. All right, guys. So we're going to talk about what you're going to need. One, a battery-powered drill, of course, with a bit to fit your screws. Now these are the screws I use to anchor the top of it, and I'll use some smaller screws to do the angles and supports on the downsides. I'll show you that. All right, and you're gonna need an eye hook. Make sure you got a nut. You're gonna need a, I don't know what the hell they call it. So you know what it's called, tell me. I call it a steel line clamp, I guess. It's to clamp down the line. I do not use rope. I use steel line with a coating over it, which is right here. Wire clothesline, good old Ace Hardware. You're gonna need your square, of course. Now these are my fence cutters. This is what I do to do fencing work. I use these to cut that. Makes it a lot simpler, a lot easier. Of course, you're gonna need a tape measure, a pen, pencil, whatever you want. I like the pen. It sticks out easy to read. And you're going to need a circular saw. Now, you're also going to need a wrench. It's 11 millimeters, which you're going to need to do this. And you're going to need a socket and the drill bit to drill your holes out to run your eye hooks through. Here's your socket wrench you're going to need with a 1/2 inch for your nuts that go on the back side, and you're going to need your washers. And I'll show you guys how to put all this stuff together. And what I do normally, I'll pull this tag off, set the tag on the side. I get my washers here. Now you're going to need, depending on how many lines you run, you're going to need 8 of each. So 8 of these, 8 washers, 8 of those, and you should be good. 4 of those, what I used. 2 in each one, and then plus the other that I'm going to put in there. All right, so let's show you what I did so far. All right, guys, so what I did is I went and I bought 3 4x4 by 8 foot. Make sure your hole is dug 2 foot deep. Get yourself 2 bags, 80-pound bags of Quikrete. Now, I choose to mix it up bag by bag individually and pour it in myself. I do not like just dropping it into the ground with a little bit of water. because the consistency doesn't get as good. It doesn't get mixed as good. And there's no moisture because we've been in a drought. So make sure you do that. And remember, you're going to need 3 4x4s by 8s, and you're also going to need a post hole digger and a shovel. Make sure when you use the shovel that you dig a circumference around where you're going to put your 4x4 in by about 4 inches in a circular, and let the concrete settle in there like I've done over here. Then what I'll do is cover it up with the dirt, get some new grass to grow, and we'll be good to go. Now, you're going to need a ladder to get up top to be able to fix your eye hooks and run your spans. Now I'm going to show you guys the spans. Alright guys, so as you can see, I drilled my holes and I put my eye hook in there. Alright, when I put my eye hook in there, I'll show you exactly what I do. Take that one that you saw me clear off. I'll pop it through the hole. Alright, we'll go on the back side and I'll show you the back side. So, take 2 fingers and hold on to this. Put my washer over it. Take my nut, put my nut on. There we go. Screw it in tight. Now make sure that when you put your eye hook in, that it sits in this direction. That's nice and straight. I'm going to tighten that up. Now I'm going to put a cross brace across here. I just want to show you guys how to do this stuff. Alright, so we get in there and we're going to pull it in. Now the reason why I didn't put a washer on the other side is because I want to pull it in some so it locks it in place. Alright, there we go. So we got that done. Now I'm going to show you how we run our clothesline wire and our clamp. So I'm going to bring you over to this other side and I'll show you how to do that. Alright guys, so what I'm going to do now, and this is kind of the hardest part of the whole thing. You're going to go through here like this, pull it down, and you're going to make sure, you know, need a little bit of a little less drag on that. So you're gonna go through this. Now you can loosen it up if you want. I'm gonna loosen mine up a little. Seems like it's a little too tight. Pull it through. Give yourself a little extra. Pull it back like this. Tighten these up by hand. And we're going to take our 11 mil. And we're going to go ahead and tighten this up. Now I tried using a socket on this. Socket didn't work real well because there's no room in here to get the socket. So I said anybody can do this. I mean, it's probably one of the easiest projects on a homestead that you can do. Alright, now we got that all tight. Now what we'll do is we'll go down to the other end and we'll put the other one in and we'll stretch the line to try to get the line as tight as we can get it. Alright guys, so these 4x4s that I have that I'm using now is stuff I had left over from a previous project on the homestead, and it's worked out pretty good. It's worked out pretty good. Up here. See how this is? We're gonna put some supports in there so it doesn't do that. But you can see how that pulls that in there. Now we're gonna get some more line. Kind of got it all tangled up. Yeah, just a little tangled up. Oh boy. All right, there we go. There's the line. So I'm doing is I'm gonna measure it out about 1 foot. I'm gonna take my cutters. So I like these, man. These work really, really well. And I'm gonna cut them. Then what you want to do is you want to get some tension on this. So we're going to go ahead and put our cable, steel wire or lock or whatever you want to call it on there. And I'll run that through. Here's the nice thing about this, is that this will give us our tension we need. So I got my tension on there. Take my wrench. Okay. Yeah, that done. Then what I want to do, and this is just my preference, is I bring it around here and I tie it in. And I go one more time back through. And the reason why I do that is because that way, if I need a little, and I can loosen it up and put some more tension on it. Cut it right like that. There we go. Just gives you a little more, you pull some tension on it and not have to worry about it. Cut it one more time. There we go. All right, and then you have that all set up. Put your clothes on it, and you'll be good to go. Well, that's not working that well. There we go. I just want to keep the wire out of the way more than anything. You don't want nobody to get their eye poked out or anything like that. All right, guys, I got my lines put in, and I have my cross braces on. You want to talk about making a difference, man? Them cross braces make a big difference. Well, we got that done. Amy's got her clothesline now. She can't wait. She's happy. She's content. That's what you want. A happy wife, happy life. At that point, guys, it's been a great time. I'm glad that you came here. I'm glad that you watched our video. I hope this DIY project is really simple and works out well for you. If you have any questions, put them in comments down below. I would really appreciate it. And you know, just remember, there is stuff on the homestead that you don't have to be a home builder, that you can build yourself. Of course, I've built a lot of stuff here, so this is probably one of the easiest projects I've had to date. But I love it. It works. It'll dry clothes. And by the way, figure it's $30 every 2 weeks. Me and Amy figured out we save $360 a year by building this for $100. And it's not going to hold up a year. This is probably going to last us probably 15 years if you take care of it. So what I'm going to do now, guys, I'm going to get the stain out. I'm going to stain this up, both sides. I'm going to get it sealed up. This stuff, like I said, was some old stuff we had sitting around. Some of it wasn't as, you know, straight as possible. It's probably one of the reasons I didn't use it. But for a thing to hang your clothes on, shoot, why not? Go ahead and build one. Simple, easy, fast. Just do yourself a favor. You pour the concrete, let the concrete sit for a day before you go in and start playing with it. And do yourself another favor. Build one. It's only going to save you money. It's going to make your wife happy and make it easier life. So at that point, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I got a lot of work to do today. This project here, if the concrete was already dry, would have taken you guys a half a day to build. This took me a total of, I probably got 4 hours into it to build it, do everything, dig the holes and the whole 9 yards. So at that point, guys, I'm out of here. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button, that thumbs up button. I got some more work to do. See you later.